Hey guys, welcome to this quick training. Hey, I wanted to take the next 5, 7 minutes to just walk you through what we call our attending to belonging framework. In fact, I'm going to be hosting a workshop on this to help you implement the specific framework in your church so you can begin connecting first time guests, turning them into fully engaged members who are ready to become disciples, who want to become part of the ministry. And so we call this the Attending to Belonging workshop that we're going to be hosting in about 2 weeks. And so I want to share this with you. Beginning step number one is this, is that in order to create a atmosphere where people want to connect to the church, first on their first visit, you've got to create a welcoming experience, right? So step number one to our process of connecting guests is creating a welcoming experience. The second step is going to be that once you have that welcoming experience and people enjoy being in your services, we're going to move towards step number two, which is follow up. And whenever I think of follow up, and I know this might be, forgive me if this sounds a little irreverent, but I always think of the first time I went on a date with my wife and we had an amazing time. And guess what I did when I got home? Called her, right? I followed up. I said, man, I had a lot of fun with you. Man, it was great talking. It was great connecting with you. Right. So step number one, they come to our services. They come to our church. They have an amazing experience. They have hopefully an encounter with the Lord. They get to meet people in the church. They feel excited. They feel hopeful. And then during the week, there's follow up. Right. So that's step number two, follow up. Then we have our meet and greet. So this is the opportunity for individuals to kind of take it a little deeper, right? They're going to get to meet the pastor, hopefully get to meet some team members. And the idea is that we're going to do this maybe once a month, or some churches do it on a weekly basis, but this is an opportunity for your guests to get to know you on a more deeper level, right? What do you want to do? What's your vision? What's your mission? What do you have for their families, their children? Again, this is where this meet and greet is so important because this is an opportunity for them to get to know you better. And then the next step in this process is membership. And membership is all about joining the family. Okay. A lot of times when I talk with pastors, they say, oh, I don't like the word membership, or where is it in the Bible? Here's what I want you to think of. When you think of membership, I want you to think of a change in relationship, right? This is where people are going to go from, hey, I'm attending that church to that's my church. It's this idea that I'm joining the family and becoming part of what you guys are doing. I love the church. I love the ministry. I love the vision. I love what God is doing in you and through you. I love what God is doing in me through this ministry. And I want to join. I want to be a part of this. I want to serve. I just don't want to spectate. I want to participate. And that's where membership plays a major role. And the next step from there is onboarding. And what onboarding simply means is this. People are going to join your church, right? They're going to call your church home. And now we want them serving. But here's the trick. We don't want them just to join a ministry. We want them to be there connected to the ministry 6 months, 12 months later. And so our onboarding process is built to ensure that people are connecting in such a way where they love the ministry. They love the people they're working with. They feel like every time I serve, it aligns with my passion, my purpose. And you also have all of the information they need. You know what times they're supposed to be serving. They know the attire. They know everything they need in order to serve. And so this is our 5-step connection process. In our workshop, we're going to actually take a deep dive in step number 2, because I want to help you create your follow-up process. This is one of the biggest process. And a couple of things I hear from pastors is, hey, we have a system, but it feels very stagnant. It's not relational. We're not connecting with people. And so in our training, we're going to talk a bit about how do you give it some life? How do you make sure that you're connecting with people? And it's not just flat, systemic. It doesn't just feel like robotic. Another thing that people I hear from pastors is, hey, I'm getting first time guests, but I don't know how to get them connected. Like, how do I get their information? How do I get them to begin serving? Or how do I get them to just give me their contact info? So we're going to walk through how to collect more cards, and we're going to walk through some of those details. In fact, let me walk you through specifically all of the steps that we're going to cover in our actual workshop. And so as I mentioned, this is the follow-up process. And the first step we're going to talk to you about is how to collect more connection cards. Right? How do we ensure that the people that are in the building or the people that are watching online are actually giving you their connection card. They're submitting it. That leads to the second step, which is our follow up. And I love to do a 4-week follow up because one of the things that I learned from the very beginning as a former discipleship pastor is that it takes at least 7 to 10 touches to build trust, right? In order for someone to say, man, I trust that church, that when they speak to me, they're actually speaking because they care for me. They care for my kids. They care about my marriage, right? I trust that that church is going to lead me in my relationship with Jesus and help me to draw closer. And so we want to have a follow-up process that's at least 4 weeks. From that follow-up process, we're going to invite them to take next steps, right? So in our actual training, we're going to help you design your follow-up process. You're going to walk away with whatever emails, text messages you need. And then we're going to help you identify, well, what's the next steps we need to take? Right? What are we going to do to help people feel connected to the church? And then based on that, we've got 2 more steps. So if they say, yeah, I want to take next steps. So we're going to lead them to some opportunity for them to join the family, right? And then if they say no, then we're going to place them in what we call long-term follow-up. And this is where we're going to invite them to any major events that we might have in the long run. So if someone is a first-time guest and they don't take any next steps, we're going to keep inviting them and inviting them and inviting them until either they unsubscribe, they say, oh, we're tired of hearing from you, or they say to us, hey, we're going to show up to this event. And these invites are going to happen once a month. So once a month, you're going to invite them to maybe another service. Maybe there's a prayer meeting you're doing. Maybe there's a Bible study. Once a month, we're going to send them an invitation. So that way, those who came to the church for the first time, but did not reconnect for whatever reasons, life got busy, an emergency might have happened. I want them to know that we're there for them and we're going to invite you. And if you are ready to join or you're ready to come, fantastic. We're going to love on you. And if you're not, hey, I want you to know we're going to continue to invite you. And the moment you don't want to hear from us, you can always unsubscribe, right? So this is our follow-up process. We're going to help you in our workshop. We're going to help you learn how to connect more cards, right? Collect more connection cards. We're going to help you craft your follow-up process. We've got some templates that we're going to hand over to you that you're going to be able to modify and make it yours. We're going to help you to craft, well, what's that next step that we want people for, right? What do we want them to take? Do we want them to become members? Is there something else we want them to do? And then we're going to help you identify, okay, if they join the family, what do we want to do? And then if not, long-term, what's our long-term follow-up strategy, right? And so the workshop, as I mentioned earlier, is going to be Tuesday, February 25th at 12 p.m. Eastern. Okay, if you want details, all you've got to do is DM me and I'll get you all of the details. That way you can sign up and join us. All right. I look forward to helping you to implement this and install this process into your ministry so that you can begin seeing first-time guests begin calling your church home. All right. Take care and God bless. Bye.